really wanted to go back and do a more formal review for this because I was lucky enough to see this very early in IMAX 3D for free, which was really, really cool. I pretty much saw this at the exact same time that like Jeremy Jahns and Chris Stuckman posted their review, so it was really cool to see this in advance. And another thing that was really cool is that the seeing it in IMAX 3D is not only the ultimate way to see this film, but you know, one of the things that I pointed out in my review that a lot of people did not like, because I was being pretty scathing, is that the visuals, you know, in that review and in this review, I really want to point out the highlight of this film, which is the visuals, and specifically the visuals stemming from the main character, Alita. There are fleeting moments where the CGI is not impressive. For example, let's take Jackie Earle Haley, who plays this weird cyborg creature. Like him visually, like from a texture point of view, you know, like his skin, you know, the metal on his body. There were a number of shots where I was just like, I'm not entirely convinced of this being's presence in live action footage. You know what I'm saying? There were just many times where he kind of just looks like a really good 3D model from a video game spliced in live action footage, which would not be very convincing. And there's a lot of CGI moments like that where it's just like, oh, it's like they're close, but it's like I'm not being completely invested. I'm not being completely convinced. Like there's certain times where like a CGI car might go by, or there might be multiple CGI characters walking through like a live action footage, and the integration of the live action footage and the CGI, it just doesn't always convince me or have me fully invested or, you know, super shocked because I'm so impressed. You know, there are moments where the CGI, it's just okay. It's just okay. In fact, all of the best moments of CGI, they all have to do with Alita. You know, Alita is literally the most impressive visual aspect of this entire film. The CGI on her is borderline. It's near perfect most of the time, and the two best sequences to look out for when you go see this film is that there's this moment where she's kissing this other main character, and seriously, that might be the moment. That moment where she's kissing one of the main characters is one of the most impressive CGI moments I've ever seen. Like this moment right here where he's holding her hand. If you are, I legitimately, I don't know if the hand that he's holding is CGI. I don't know if that's like an actual hand in a glove. Is it like an integration of the two, or is that like an entirely CGI hand? Because I'm telling you right now, if what he is holding in this moment is entirely CGI, oh, the floor is hard. I'm just saying, it's fucking impressive as fuck, okay? Holy shit. And when they're kissing, it's like I couldn't see the seams. I was just like my fucking brain was mind fucking itself, trying to figure out where the seams were. Like, where does the CGI end and start, and when does another especially impressive shot, hugely impressive. I mean, this could maybe be the most impressive shot in the whole film. There's this moment where she has to go to the ship, so she's walking on underwater, and guys, this CGI character walking underwater in like a live action setting, at least it looked live action, and then this whole sequence just melted my fucking mind. I mean, this is pretty much almost photorealistic here. Like, it was spooky, this sequence. Like, it was so visually stunning. This sequence blew my fucking mind. Holy shit. Whoa! I don't know how they achieved that shot, but that shot was impressive. The only other shot I just want to geek out about is there's a sequence right here where she's talking down to someone, and just like, just all the little nuances from the main actress's face that they were able to capture, all these small little movements and ticks that they were able to capture from this motion capture work is honestly fucking insane. I mean, the VFX team, I think at the end of the film they said like more than 15,000 people worked on the visual effects for this film, and it does show. And while, you know, for me, like when it comes to CGI, especially when people are throwing this much money at the screen, you know, I'm hard to impress. Okay, I just am, you know, especially for like a manga that's this cool. I mean, the effects need to be either perfect or at least near perfect, and goddamn, they get pretty close to both of those. But there's just some moments I didn't care for visually. But for the most part, visually, this film is pretty extraordinary. I mean, there's certain shots of the world that they created here that are at times pretty awe-inspiring, to be honest with you. But unfortunately, like I was trying to point out in my previous review, you know, outside of being visually stunning, there's just not much holding this film together. Like, there's not much, I mean, visuals aside, this is a pretty lackluster movie in my personal opinion. I know people like Christoph Waltz and my buddy Sam at JVS, I know that they have really applauded this film for its accuracy of the source material, which is commendable, but like, I mean, like this movie has like atrocious dialogue, really bad dialogue. Like, for example, Mahershala Ali, like almost all of his lines are bad. Like, tonight we are on a hunt for the one that they call Alita. We must stop her at all costs. So like literally all of his lines you probably could already like guess before seeing the film. They're pretty one note. Oh my god. There's sequences where like his eyes will turn blue, and like the dialogue that he would say during those moments, just made me cringe. It was, oh my god, this is cheesy shit. Jennifer Connelly, great actress, but I felt like she was just so forgettable. Like her dialogue, the execution of her character arc in this film, if she really has one, it just felt so forgettable to me. I was told that the music was really good, but it really didn't stick to me. There was no musical moments that really stood out to me personally. Yeah, this other main character, her lover, just for one, I didn't think that he was that great of an actor, in my personal opinion. Number two, romantic little story arc not only felt completely unnecessary, but it just felt so fucking cheesy most of the time. And there's this moment where something happens to him, and there's this moment where he's having a conversation with her, and there's like there's a lot of CGI on him. Oh my god! Like, what? Oh my god! Like, was the CGI atrocious? Well, no, not necessarily. But like the way that he looked was so completely unconvincing, unbelievable. I just could not take it seriously. It was like unintentionally hilarious. I mean, are there some laughs to have? Were there moments where the movie was being comedic and I laughed? I mean, sure. I mean, there was one moment inside the bar where she goes, I'm gonna need you to stand way back. Like, that moment was surprisingly really hilarious. But, you know, and this whole storyline of her being from above, and now she's down here, and she's got all these forgotten memories. I mean, that's an interesting storyline, but it's not like that storyline is portrayed in like the most original, most fascinating way ever in this movie. And that's another thing. Like, it's not like this movie is just like the most mind-blowing thing I've ever seen. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't like a mind-fucking movie. Like, this isn't like a life-changing movie. Like, so I'm kind of confused as to where all these dislikes came from, because, like, I mean, there's nothing like jaw-dropping about this. There's nothing jaw-dropping about this film from a narrative standpoint. Like, if we take the CGI and we take all the visually stunning moments and we move that to the side and we just focus on everything else is pretty mediocre. It's pretty cliched. is kind of clunky narrative execution and character execution. The dialogue is pretty bad. It's pretty cheesy. It's really, really over the top in a bad way, in my personal opinion. I feel like, I mean, like, you know, Christoph Waltz and Alita's relationship is pretty cool, but and it's fun to watch. But for God's sakes, like there's not like just like a list of emotionally powerful moments in this film. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that most people are gonna. I don't think that most people are gonna walk out of this movie and be like crying and be like, oh my God, this is one of the greatest movies ever. Like I genuinely don't see that reaction coming. I mean, what do you guys think? Like when you see this film, you know, what do you think about it? Because personally, again, like in my past review, I'm personally feeling like a. I'm feeling like a 6 out of 10. Yeah, I'm feeling like a 6 out of 10. You know, visually, it's pretty extraordinary, but everything else, it's pretty mediocre, in my opinion. You know, that's my thoughts in a nutshell. But what did you think about Alita Battle Angel? You know, let me know your thoughts down below, and yeah.